fellow dadpreneurs, Adam Dukes here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you an interview I did with Dave Sharpe of Legendary Marketer. I was on their Wake Up Legendary show just last week, and we talked about the importance of messaging. And sadly, I feel this topic is not discussed enough, and messaging is a crucial piece to any type of business, online or offline. It really doesn't matter. And Dave and I jumped in, and he kind of asked me some questions of how I use messaging, and he also shared some insights into why messaging is so powerful. I shared an example of Dave Ramsey, of his simple message that's helped him that's allowed him to build a multiple $100 million business on the back of like 7 or 8 words. So we dive into that, but we go pretty deep into the messaging. It's very important. Let's get right to it.
With that being said, I'm going to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Adam Dukes. What's up, my brother?
Morning. How you doing, Dave?
I'm awesome, man. You're a repeat. You're a repeat. I was going to say a repeat buyer, but really what you are is a repeat contributor here. I wondered how that felt, man. If you ever in your wildest dreams, maybe you totally did. Maybe you envisioned yourself teaching and training, but did you ever envision yourself being somebody who is a trainer or somebody who is teaching people how to do marketing when you first started?
No, yeah. Usually I struggle getting a second date. So getting a second opportunity to come back at me here is cool. And I appreciate it. When Roxy reached out, she's been great about following up, and I've been kind of lacking with her, but no, I didn't. I saw a couple of the other guys and gals, get second interviews, and I kind of thought in the back of my head, where's my invite? When am I going to get that invite? And then I finally got it. And then of course I wasn't the best with getting back with Roxy, and luckily she's on top of her game and following up and all that. So no, I appreciate it.
Well, I just, I think that the reason why I ask is because I know there's a lot of people who are watching and who maybe look at you and I or anybody else who's on this show in the morning in our community and think, oh, well, I could never be that. I could never be somebody who could contribute valuable information. But what we're going to talk about with you today is not really just you showing up here and contributing and in training here on the show, but it's also how you found language to be of value to your audience, some of which is framing, an opportunity, some of which is, of course, giving value and teaching and training people. And I wonder what the mindset shift that you've had to go through in order to maybe go from that newbie mindset to where sometimes we get in this industry and we just think of ourselves as so lacking, like, oh, I'm just a newbie, when discounting a lot of the skills and experience that we have. But what that mindset shift has looked like for you from when you started to now having the confidence to whip up, record a video, deliver value, and actually have the confidence to do so.
Yeah, it just continued doing. I mean, when I jumped on TikTok in April, I think it took me a week and a half to finally publish the first video, just over analyzing every little detail. And same with YouTube or a blog post or sending on an email, over analyzing it. And then just doing it the first time. And then the second time, the first time, I always say the first time with whatever you're going to do, you're going to probably be horrendous. And then the second time you'll be a little less horrendous. And the third, you just get a little bit better. But just getting started with it. And there's a quote I jotted down. There's a quote that I found from Sean D'Souza. And it's about the imposter syndrome, similar to this, and I love it, and I share it often, and people love it. And I always try to give him credit because it's not my quote. But so many people, like, you don't have to be the top 5% expert in quitting smoking, building confidence, repairing a relationship, whatever industry you're in. And Sean says, just be a third grader helping a second grader. You just got to be one step ahead to help someone out, or 10 steps ahead or 20 steps ahead. You don't have to be the best of the best. And chances are you're not going to be probably the best of the best at whatever you do. So you just have to be kind of one step ahead in whoever you're helping out. I use the analogy, like, I'm a dad of a 5 and 7-year-old. I'm not an expert dad, but I could probably give tips to the new dad, in helping them out, avoiding some of the stress and anxiety, the sleepless nights, stuff like that. I could give them some tips that I've went through, but again, I'm no expert dad, but I could help those new dads along the way. Is it muted?
My bad.
There.
So that's a great analogy, because there's so many folks on this who are listening who are parents, and just the way you said that is perfectly framed. I don't even need to repeat it. I love that analogy, though. I think analogy, stories, parables are so powerful. All of you who are listening, I think Adam knows this, but just you know, when you're trying to get a point across, when you're communicating something, to use an analogy, to use a story, a parable. We always use these because just throwing data and information at people doesn't work. You know, they don't retain it, but you frame it in an analogy like what you just did. It really hits home. And there's several comments that are coming through that are saying that as well. That landed well with me. So like the name of this episode is titled what some are calling the perfect side hustle. And you mentioned just a second ago that you got on TikTok in April. And, you know, when we're creating content, you happen to be promoting products and services like Legendary in the make money online space. And that's not required, everybody. I mean, you guys come in, you know, if you go through our business blueprint, we show you how to be an affiliate in various different niches, and you could take off in a different niche. Adam just happened. But what we're going to talk about today is going to apply to every niche. So what I think is really powerful is that you found language that frames up what you have to offer. And you're making it understandable to the average person, what some are calling the perfect side hustle. And what I think a lot of people struggle with is they struggle with, how do I communicate when we call it a bridge page? What really the purpose of a bridge page is to bridge the gap between what it is that you were saying over in your content and now this offer that you're going to go send them to. And in making that make sense is a skill. It's an art, right? Because usually it comes through the form of a story. That's the easiest way to do it. Let me tell you my story and why I'm about to recommend you to this, whatever I'm recommending you to click on the button below to go there and check out. But you have found this kind of perfect side hustle frame or language. And I'd like you to talk a little bit about how you found topics or content and how you've been able to frame your, basically, because when you're recording a TikTok video, ultimately you're wanting to tee up what you're going to be recommending over here on the bridge page. So you want to be thinking about, like, you know what I mean? Like, all of you guys who are trying to put all these pieces together, you got to think about step 1 is the content. Step 2 is the landing page. Step 3 is the bridge page. Step 4 is whatever you're selling. And you want all of those, step 1 to kind of tee up step 2 to tee up step 3, sort of like a chapter in a book.
Exactly.
So hopefully I've explained that good. And if you could add to that, but also tell us how you've come up with the language, how you've sort of massaged and ironed out that process to help to make step 1, step 2, step 3 more congruent, where ultimately when they go and see whatever it is that you're promoting, it all leads up and makes sense.
Yeah, that's what's interesting is with TikTok or with any platform, it's just TikTok gives you so much data so fast, you know. When I got started, there was a lot of people doing like side hustle TikToks that were working really well. And so I was modeling other people, but I wanted to put my spin on it, you know. So I added 6-figure side hustle, you know. So it was a little bit different, a little sexier, I guess. But the phrase side hustle just really hits home with a lot of people. So it was kind of more because of TikTok that I kind of found that wording, that framing that was resonating with people. So then I got thinking, oh, the perfect side hustle. This is something to call affiliate marketing not just making money online. It could be, like you said, quitting smoking, better relationship, but more confidence. It's perfect for, you can dedicate, you know, most people that I talk to, you know, a lot of them are parents. They don't have a ton of time. They got about 7 minutes a day of free time. They just don't have the time. So I like to talk about, well, it's perfect for a side hustle. You can earn a couple extra $100 a month. And what I find is when you do something and it's working, whether it's working out, making money, whatever it is, you start finding more time. That 7 minutes, all of a sudden you realize, you know what, I got a little bit more time than I thought, so it kind of builds on that. Or if you just want to make a couple extra $100 a month, that's fine. There's no right or wrong, and with affiliate marketing or really kind of any online business, it can kind of be a couple extra $100 a month, or it could be scale it to the moon as high as you want it. It's whatever fits your lifestyle that you want. And I find the side hustle wording, verbiage is a little, I guess it's a wider appeal to people, because it can be truly a side hustle, not a full-time business.
So I talked about this a little bit last week, but I think this is a great example of using language that the average mainstream person can understand versus somebody who is, very is really already familiar with terminology in the industry. If the majority of people that we're ultimately marketing to, or a large portion of them, are not as well versed. If you say affiliate marketing, they might not even know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So did you kind of realize that? Did you realize that using more mainstream, kind of almost, this is not a hit on anybody calling them dumb, but dumbed down, language that the everyday man or woman can understand, who's not an affiliate marketer, who wouldn't even really particularly recognize that term, wouldn't know. I mean, affiliate, you might think affiliated. Maybe before I got in affiliate marketing, the only affiliate I knew was, oh, I'm affiliated with him, but that could mean anything. Maybe I do business. Maybe we did business. Who even knows what that means?
Yeah.
But the average person who's scrolling TikTok, YouTube, whatever, ideally, if they're brand new, or if they've never done this before, they're not even going to recognize that. So did you kind of understand that you needed to use language that is recognizable and understood by the average person? And how have you, or did you not, and it's just been sort of, modeling after other people what you saw, like you said, and how have you simplified your language and simplified the way that you talk in your videos so that more people can understand what you're talking about, and you're making sure that you're not talking over people's heads, etc.?
Yeah, it's funny. I've been in this industry for 10 years, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's such an advantage, which it can be, but it can also be the negative as well, because I get so caught up in assuming everyone knows what I'm talking about. Bridge page, for example, and I got to take it back to pre-2010, the stuff that I didn't know at the time. As an example, affiliate, you said, like when I heard copywriting in 2010, I thought it had something to do with Hollywood movies. I didn't know copywriting was writing persuasively. I had no idea. And so, those wording. So I think I'm still learning that. It's funny. Another note I jotted down is, and I mentioned it in a Facebook group the other day, is I'm learning from some of these guys and gals on TikTok, some of the people that have been in the industry for 3 months. I'm learning from them, modeling somewhat what they're doing, dumbing it down or whatever, but they're closer to that mindset of not knowing the terminology than I am. I've been out of it for so long, so I forget, it's common knowledge to me. But using those analogies, I like the middleman or middlewoman. I think you even refer to that, that can kind of translate to a lot of people for affiliate marketing. I talk about how Nike has an affiliate program. Everyone knows what Nike is. I hold up a Nike shoe of mine, and I say, this is $100 shoe. They pay 11% commission. You earn $11, to kind of compare it to everyday items, or I pull up my t-shirt, hey, this is Old Navy and they pay 3%. So I kind of try to use physical products typically to just kind of explain the whole affiliate marketing. Because you're right. I get a lot of comments on YouTube, TikTok, emails. What is affiliate marketing? They don't even know what the basics of it is, So you have to reiterate what it is, what over and over and over, because there's a lot of people. I might even say the majority of the world doesn't know what that term is,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, I think that a lot of people give up too soon, Adam, meaning that they don't realize that educating your audience is a process that happens over multiple contacts. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So what I think a lot of us don't realize when we first start is that when we're creating content, that we actually are getting people familiar. We're the best way to get somebody to get excited about your product and buy it is to educate them why they need it. And oftentimes that takes multiple different videos, multiple contacts. How have you stayed patient and consistent creating content? Obviously we know that TikTok can, like, for example, can take off a bit faster than some of these other strategies that we've tried in the last 10 years, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But how have you stayed sort of patient in educating people and not giving up because they don't understand what you're talking about right away, giving them a chance to come to follow you, to see several of your videos? I think a lot of us come in because we're sort of in this instant gratification mode that sort of society, technology sets us up for these days. But marketing really is a patient game. How have you stayed patient and educated people over time so they can have a chance to comfortably move forward and still see that you're not going anywhere?
I think we talked about it before, the tracking, and I just have my numbers. I print it out every day. I know I need to put out 2 TikToks a day and 2 YouTube videos a week. That's my content strategy. And just sticking with this strategy. Some people are going to come on. Some people might discover me in May and come on my email list in September and maybe buy something in November. And just sticking with focusing on the outputs, what I can control of just putting out content, whatever platform. It doesn't have to be TikTok, and just putting it out. I mean, I had my first TikTok account in September. I got shadow banned. I'm not sure what happened, but my account kind of for whatever reason got shut down at the end of September. That was a big, the leads and sales dried up basically overnight. And at first I was upset. Why me playing the victim role? But the silver lining was, wait a second, I stepped back. I'm relying too much on one platform. This is dangerous. So I started getting into Facebook advertising. I started blogging more, because I was like, I don't want to be reliant on one channel. I ended up starting a new TikTok channel a couple weeks after that happened. And that's the beauty of TikTok, is I grew that to 10,000 followers in just a little over a month. That's what's neat about it. But it forced me to realize, wait a second, I don't quit TikTok. If it went away, for whatever reason, I can't rely on one channel. But the patience thing is just, like I said, I try to focus on the outputs, and I can't control what people are going to do. If people reach out to me with questions, I get a lot of people that reach out with me with questions. In the TikToks, I'll say, shoot me an email. 98% of the questions are the exact same or very, 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 very similar. But it gives me more content to create because I know what people are struggling with, and it's just kind of eye-opening. It's like, gosh, I've talked about that a lot, but they didn't see it, or it didn't resonate with them for whatever reason, So you can talk about the same topic over and over. I bring up Dave Ramsey a lot. I mean, he's got a multi-$100 million business. His message is basically spend less than you make. And he's built a huge empire on basically that message, and Gary Vaynerchuk too. He talks about be patient and consistent, and he has a huge $100 million business on kind of that same mindset, so it's just, I think we get in our heads about, I already talked about this once, it's like, yeah, but most of you people haven't seen it yet, and new people haven't seen it yet, so with whatever content, you can repeat yourself, maybe a different angle, over and over and over, and it's just going to resonate with people. Different time of day, different time of season, you read books. I read the 4 Agreements one time. It was at the right time in the right part of my life where he spoke to me, and I've also read books where I wasn't ready for it. And I kind of thought, wow, a lot of people talk about this book, but it didn't do it for me at that time, So same with marketing, you hit the right person at the right time.
Yeah. Well, I also want to just add to that saying the same thing over and over again also can bring you more credibility.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly finding different ways to say the same thing can be creative and entertaining, and that's totally fine. I try to do that as well. But also just having the same message actually brings people confidence, and it brings them a certain safety with you, feeling safe with you, that, wow, this guy is, it's sort of like, Adam, I don't know if you've ever been around somebody who just maybe growing up, or somebody that they sort of always had the same energy, and they just, I don't know, they brought you that safe, relaxing vibe.
Yep.
Maybe it was your grandfather, maybe it was your father, mom. I don't know. Maybe for some of you guys, you didn't have that. I don't know. But if you can think of somebody in your life who, when you're around them, you just feel safe. They just make you feel comfortable. Hopefully we're that to our children, right, Adam?
Yes, exactly.
Children. Yep. I'd say my parents were certainly have been that to me. They've been a steady hand in my life, and I'm extremely grateful for that.
Yep.
Right. But man, I think we don't know how powerful that can be to people who are out there listening, with all the garbage, with all the people constantly reinventing themselves, and they've got something that they're promoting each week. To be a steady hand, to be somebody who is sort of hammering home the same message, like a Dave Ramsey, and also a message that's simple enough for people to understand. I think that's the key with Ramsey and Vaynerchuk and all these guys. Hopefully, even what we're doing is that each and every day we come out with the same message from different faces sometimes, but it brings a certain safety, and it brings a certain calming relaxation, that people know, okay, this person is always the same when I see them, and I can rely on knowing that this is a comfortable, safe place. I think most marketers undervalue that and don't realize the power in that. And bringing up Ramsey, I think, was a great testament to that. And I just think I think that was a great point. I want to ask one sort of final question, and you can add to what I just said if you want, but I want to keep the conversation moving. Give us, in your words, why, for all those folks who are sitting on here, who are, and I've seen many people in here who are fans and followers of yours on TikTok. I saw Margarita. She said that you answered questions for her on a live one day on TikTok, and she, now is obviously where she's here, so she must have taken your recommendation. But for the folks that are sitting on here and they're saying, is this the right thing for me? Maybe they have tried several other things. Why do you think that what we're doing, what we're teaching here at Legendary, is the perfect side hustle? I mean, if you could just explain that in your own words, and sort of give us, I guess, a similar pitch to what you explain on TikTok to other people, but just so everybody else can hear it from your mouth as well.
Yep.
Why would you convince or invite somebody to lean in to these business models that we teach here, the core 4: affiliate marketing, then if you want to sell your own information, courses, coaching, or events? Why do you think that getting into this right now is the perfect side hustle that can also turn into a legitimate long-term career?
Yep. And that's what I talk about a lot, is I think affiliate marketing is perfect for beginners. And I get some of it from Brian Brewer. He's the one kind of, but you focus on one traffic. Like that's kind of it. You know, you don't have a product to sell, you don't have a service to offer, you don't have customer support, exchanges, refunds, all of that. And you're in a sense getting paid or you're earning while you're learning with affiliate marketing. You're learning funnels and you're learning copywriting, you're learning putting out content, what platform, your market, your message, all that type of stuff. And you're learning all that. And then that's kind of phase one, affiliate marketing. And then I look at phase two as offering your own products or service or software, whatever it is, and taking those skills that you learned in affiliate marketing and translate them into your own product, service, or software. And then I kind of look at it as legs on a table. With affiliate marketing, I mean, the one big drawback is you don't have much control. The company, for whatever reason, look at Amazon as an example. They slashed their rates in April or whatever from, I don't know, like in half, basically, you know, and that can happen. The company could, they could kick you out of the affiliate program. Maybe you did something that didn't jive with them for whatever reason, you know. So that's a little, so I look at it as affiliate marketing kind of phase one, you're learning in that. And then phase two, events, masterminds, retreats, courses, coaching, mentoring, whatever you want to offer, you know. But just kind of, it's a good segue. So with the 4 business models, it's a perfect kind of a cornucopia, I guess, to say it is perfect affiliate marketing and then getting into your own products or services. And then the training, I tell people this all the time. Like I said, I got started in 2010 and just hearing your perspective, Dave, your point of view, I had a lot of aha moments. I never thought of that, you know, and it's just a couple of things, how you worded some of the things, the Airbnb stuff. I really, really enjoyed that. And I thought, gosh, you know, in 10 years, I never considered that, you know. So even old grizzled veterans like myself, you know, I came away with value from it. And of course, newbies are going to come away with probably even more, you know. But that's the thing with it, taking a course or a training. Is the shortcut. You condense time in a sense, you know. Don't spend 10 years like I did and try to piece it all together yourself. But the community, these wake up calls like this, you know, I watch a lot of these calls and I'm learning. And I mentioned that earlier is, you know, like Daryl Gray, you know, the kid's 17, you know, that I'm 39, man. That kid inspires me. Him and I were we were direct messaging the other day. And I told him, I said, man, you're really setting yourself up for life at 17 years old, you know, and his other buddies are probably playing Fortnite or whatever it is till 3 a.m. He's out putting out TikTok videos and he's out making I try to phrase it earning money. I don't like to make money, you know, you're earning money, you're putting out value and you're getting something in return. You know, there's work involved. Dylan Crow is another one. I think he's 21, you know, these young guys, and there's a couple gals too, inspiring me, you know, so seeing them, that's really cool as well. The community, obviously, and all that.
Yeah, no, you're right. But you know, I got a lot of respect as well, for all of the, for all of you folks who are coming in, who maybe, society or even yourself has written you off as being too old, not technically savvy enough. You know, so there's sort of both ends of the spectrum. Those of us who are in our 30s and 40s, we kind of get a pass because people pretty much expect us to be like fighting for our kids and stuff, right? Or whatever, you know, like creating a future or whatever. All of these sort of societal expectations. But those of you who are either younger or older, who are sort of outside of the kind of frame of that society has certain expectations on you. Like when you're young, society has less expectations. You can still be screwing off. You're not supposed to be having kids or a home or anything like college, whatever, your first or second job. And then when you're older, it's sort of like, leave him or her alone. They've already done their, but those of you who are younger or older, you know, then, you know, sort of outside of that 30-40 range, man, it's just, it's inspiring. Couple last week we had Chris and Susan Beasley, who sort of are speaking to people in their, I guess you would call it silver or golden years. I don't know the difference between those two.
Okay. Yep.
But you know, and they were trying to get out of their accounting business and now, you know, in sort of retire, but then that went to hell in a handbasket. And now they never want to retire doing what they're doing here, you know? So I just, This really is the perfect side hustle, which is why I've been doing this for 10 years.
Yep.
It's why you've been after 10 years, you're doing the same thing. It's like, if there was something better, we would be doing it. Trust me. I don't have a secret, and I'm not downplaying or saying that you can't make money with Amazon or drop shipping or being a agency to local businesses. But let me tell you something. If that was better, we'd be doing it. If that was better, we'd be teaching it.
Yep.
But those businesses are not better than the core 4 business models that we teach here, selling information.
Yep.
Courses, coaching, events, or as an affiliate selling somebody else's. There is no, and Adam, I've done network marketing. I've done, agency work. I've freelancing work. I've done all of the, I've done consulting in terms of going and it's just all, if I'm not, I always come back to selling information.
Yep.
In the form of the way that we teach it here. And you can do it as small as you want, or you can do it as big as you want. You can scale. Yep. And you reminded me, I'm going to be uploading at the last mastermind. Adam came on as a special guest trainer and broke down his entire tracking methodology. And I'm going to be adding that as a bonus to the business blueprints. I wish I could give this away to everybody, but this is something that actually people who paid to be in the mastermind learned and got. So I'm going to give that to everybody who didn't pay to be in the mastermind, but is a student and a client of the business blueprints. So look out for that. If you're in the business blueprints, we're going to be releasing that here. I'm going to make a goal to get that as a bonus this week. I think that's so powerful. What you taught and the way that you track things. Yeah. And again, with our blueprints, one thing that I want to tell everybody here is that you get lifetime updates. So anything that we have never released a new blueprints and said, this is version 2.0, everybody has to pay for it again. Same thing with the challenge. Any challenge updates that we've made, we've done that free of charge and just said, hey, go back and go through the challenge again. It's all updated content. So just thank you for reminding me of that. That was a really powerful training. We've just been, trying to keep up with all of the momentum that we've had over the last, Adam, this is something that I'll end with this and then I'll give you the last word. It's almost, I've had a bit of a conflict during this year of 2020 because while so many different businesses and people have had the roughest year of their lives, man. The people in our community, many of whom, not everybody, because many people are just getting started, but many of us have had one of the best years of our lives, man.
Yep.
Because, and for me, like, I don't want to be arrogant about that. I don't want to be like boasting and bragging about that, but it's been a fascinating sort of dichotomy.
Yes.
Of, while the world is struggling and businesses are shutting down and people are going out of business, we're over here, growing month on month. And I just, if any COVID broke a lot of us, Justin Anderson said, I get it, man. I get it. What would you say? You can end with any other thought if you want, but I just figured I'd tee you up with this question. What would you say to somebody who maybe has been broke this year by this virus and by what's gone on this year, but can you give them a look into what starting something like this and getting serious could potentially protect them in the future from other things that may come along unexpected? Who the hell would have thought? I mean, a bank going down or real estate, kind of like it happened in 2008, but nobody would have ever predicted a virus. What would you say to somebody who's again debating, skeptical, not confident? Why is now the time to start something digital that you can work from home, that you're not relying on somebody else? Give us just your perspective on what's gone down this year.
Yeah, it's funny. I have the same thing with the COVID thing. It's hard to word it saying, I loved it, or I got a lot from it, and not to downplay it or nothing like that. Not only being able to spend the kids are home from school, which some days I'm not jumping up and down about, or most days I should say. But yeah, it's been great for me. I think COVID, there shouldn't be any more motivation. Just kind of COVID itself can kind of show you that. And if we're doing this lockdown 2.0, kind of, unless you're in Florida or Texas, maybe another, I mean, it's almost like you get in a sense, a second chance, kind of, if they're doing this second lockdown, however long it's going to be, partial lockdown, whatever it is. But if you missed that first lockdown and took advantage of the internet, myself, plenty of other people, people are going to be online more. Wintertime, whether there's a lockdown or not, wintertime, people are going to be more online anyway. So this is a great time to get started. Not January 1st, today, not Monday, next month, next year. Get started now. Legendary Marketer has the blueprint to do it. Whichever business model, affiliate, selling your own products and services. There's plenty of people who are doing it, young and old, as you've seen. I don't think there's much more motivation to get started today. There's a lady that emailed me yesterday. She's a single mom in college, and she's like, well, I'm going to wait between the semesters to get started. And I hear that all the time. Like I said, Monday, next month, next year, and it never happens. Everyone always puts it off. Get started now. You'll thank yourself. It's the whole planting a tree. What's the best time to plant a tree, today or 20 years ago? Well, I didn't plant one 20 years ago. Well, plant one today, and then it goes back to the whole patience thing. And it's funny that TikTok, it's I don't like saying make money online fast or quick or anything like that. But with TikTok, I still use the word quick and fast loosely, but it can happen relatively quickly. I still want to set the proper expectations. But yeah, get started today with whatever you do. And the fear of failure is a huge one that so many people talk to me about. Like I said, I've been doing this 10 years. I fail daily. I don't have it all figured out. I'm never going to have it all figured out. Dave doesn't have it all figured out. He has some pieces figured out, but he's going to continue. The whole team over there is going to continue making mistakes, adjusting as they go, as am I, as is Elon Musk, the uber successful. They don't have it figured out either. But I find so many people want this step-by-step blueprint. Do this without making any mistake. Do this without making any mistake. And I talk a lot about the marketing's not really black and white. Business isn't black and white. There's a lot of variables. There's a lot of gray areas. What works for me might work for you. It might not work for you. It might work better for you, but here's a couple things that have worked for me. Why not try that out and make your own tweaks, make your own adjustments, and it might work a lot better for you, So it's getting out there and being okay with the failure part. The last one I want to mention, I made some notes. There was a lady that I had mentorship from back in 2016, very successful in Australia. And she said this whole profound thing, and it's still something that I struggle with. And someone said, how do you make so much money? And she said, I make more offers. That was it. And that applies to any business. The ice cream shop, the online business is making more offers. And I find a lot of people struggle with that. Gary Vaynerchuk had that book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. I'm jab, 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 right? Like a weak right hook, So I'm still struggling with that. I've gotten better. And some of these newer people, they're better at the right hook. Some people are right hook, right hook, right hook. They don't last long though. But make more offers. Make an offer every single day. And it is, I don't want to sell to my audience, but the people are going to be online or not online. They're not going to see it. It's amazing how much of your audience, how little of it actually sees it. If you send an email, you get 20% open rate. Well, 80% didn't see it. So and same with TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or writing a blog post, most of the people aren't going to see it. Do it again, do it again, do it again.
Yeah. That is a big nugget to end on. Make more offers. And what Gary meant with that jab, 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 right hook is the jab is value, delivering value. The right hook is making an offer.
Yep.
So, I almost think that in every video there should be a call to action. A
Mhm.
call to action is similar to that offer. If I deliver it if I'm doing a 60-second video, 50 seconds of value, 10 seconds of call to action at the end if they want to learn more, if they're interested in this topic, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
And I love everything you had to say today. This is one that's worthy of going back in and sort of combing through and pulling out more of these nuggets. Uh,
Mhm.
Thank you once again for
Absolutely. Thank
willing
you.
to come on. And I know you've got a 5 and a 7-year-old. They're at home. It's a big responsibility. It's early too.
Yep.
Thank you for getting up, for being willing whenever we call to say, yes, I'm willing to come on and give back. It just means the world to me, brother. And it means the
Absolutely.
world to us. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being such a team player and willing to come back and give what you've learned and help people who are sort of just getting started. So I've put up your link here. If those of you want to go up and follow Adam on TikTok, it's just Adam Dukes. I don't know if you're on Facebook or anything else, but I would assume if you just look up your name, they could find you. And you've got a black and white photo, as far as I know, at least on your TikTok there. But go and give Adam a follow, and he's a guy who you can learn a lot from, and just you'd be blessed to have him in your network. So Adam, thanks, my brother.
Dave, appreciate it.
We'll hopefully have you back here in the coming months for another update.
Yep.
And my best to your family.
Oh, thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Yours too.
All right, brother. Stay safe, man.
Yep, you too. I hope you took
All
some
right,
notes watching that interview. Like I said in the intro, messaging is so important. For some reason, a lot of us don't really pay attention to it, don't go deep enough into it, but messaging can be extremely, extremely, extremely powerful. So take what Dave said. I love how he talked about the safety of the messaging and all that. And like I shared the Dave Ramsey example, another example obviously would be Gary Vaynerchuk. He talks about patience a lot. He talks about kind of being self-aware, consistency. Consistency is another word that I use a lot. And after that interview, I sat down and started thinking, I need to simplify my message a little bit more. Some of the things that Dave said, I had a couple aha moments, So I came up with something super simple. It's only 4 words: create content, make offers. That's really it. That is online business broken down into 4 words. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be selling on Amazon, Shopify, personal brand, affiliate marketing, MLM, selling your own digital products, coaching, courses, mentors, whatever the hell it is. Create content, make offers. That's really it. That's online business simplified in 4 words. So if you're struggling with anything, get out there, create more content, make more offers, and you should start to gain some traction. So, hey, if you like that interview, please hit subscribe down below. Click that little bell notification because I release 2 videos each and every week for your viewing pleasure. As always, if you have comments, questions, or concerns, drop them down below, or let me know your biggest takeaway from the interview. I'd love to hear back from you. Drop a comment down in the comment section down below. Let me know what the biggest takeaway from you was after watching that interview. Something I said, maybe something Dave said, maybe something both of us said, but let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it.